So what I want to talk about today is the fact that motherhood made me a better artist, but it also took something away from me. Hi, my name is Rebekah Victoria. I am a professional fine artist and welcome to my studio today. What I wanted to talk about today was the fact that motherhood has made me a better artist, but the unspoken thing that goes under the radar is that it also took something away from my art that I never expected. I don't really have any advice for you today. I just kind of wanted to talk about my experiences with this and see if maybe somebody else could relate to this. Recently, a friend of mine who is a wonderful artist, she was talking about on social media how she had recently left a relationship because it just wasn't in alignment anymore, and she was talking about how she wasn't sure if she wanted to be a mother and she wasn't sure if she was ready to give up the time that she has available to her art right now to have a child. And when I was making the decision to become a parent, I think that I still really hadn't found myself as an artist. And for me, that was really a crucial point because I didn't feel like I was giving up that much when I became a parent, and it's come apparent to me now that because she is a more established artist and because she is kind of starting to really get somewhere with her art career, she is killing it over in London. It's a much bigger sacrifice for her, and it's just a different story. So when I was reading her post, I felt a little bit of jealousy, I guess, a pang of jealousy, because I don't have the time she has. I'm not able to paint day and night like she does or like I used to. It wasn't that I was upset, I just felt a little funny about it. And it was not a criticism to her post whatsoever, because I think it was such a beautiful, heartfelt post. But I think I reflected on my own journey a bit with reading that post, noticing how much I have given up by becoming a parent and how much this takes away from my art, because every decision I make revolves around my children, and that inherently takes something away from my art because it's not about me anymore, it's not about my art, and it's just not so finite anymore. The decisions I have to make are just a lot bigger. So I can't just run off to an exhibition somewhere. I can't just leave because I have these little dependents that need me. Reading her post made me kind of reflect on that a little more. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's a really beautiful thing to have brought into my orbit, and I love dissecting these kind of thoughts a little bit and really realizing that, yes, art is not my number one priority right now, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be that way forever. And everybody handles their career, their loss, their life, everything in their own journeys, and that's a beautiful thing. I also think that if I didn't have kids, I never would have gotten out of the grind of the 9 to 5. I had already started working a day job at a school, and I loved it, and I have had every intention of going back. But after having children, things just shifted, and I realized that I really needed to be putting more time into my art, because when I had the day job, I had zero time to do any art. So imagine what it would be like having the day job and then also having the children. It just really led me to the decision that I couldn't go back to work in that job, no matter how much it supported me financially, because it meant that I would be ultimately giving up on my dream, and I don't think I ever would have come back out of it. I would not have had time off like I had when I was on mat leave. So for me, the children really shaped how everything has played out, and it's really actually allowed me to be the artist that I wanted to be, that I craved to be, that I was supposed to be. I think I'm really, really lucky for that. I think I have a lot to owe to my children for that, because That's what I'm saying, basically. Having kids also really led me to learn so much more about my body and how to live within this skin and live to the best of my ability and how to get my body to operate the best. I have a chronic pain syndrome called fibromyalgia. It's chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and a whole bunch of other things. And having children really taught me about burnout and how I really have to look after my body, and that is number one. And that is also number one for my art. And I think that I wouldn't have learned that lesson as well if it wasn't for my children. But ultimately, motherhood didn't ruin my life whatsoever. It reshaped it, and a part of me, probably a few parts of me, broke in the process, and I've emerged on the other side so far, a better version of myself, someone who knows themselves better, who knows their body better, who is so much more in touch with their art because of my children. While I understand the temptation to put yourself aside for your children, put your art aside for your children, I think from my experience that would have been a bad decision because of how much I've learned through becoming a parent and how much I've learned through ultimately creating the best masterpieces I could ever create. These kids are a part of me. I created them from my body. What isn't more creative than that? And then I also have helped shape and mold their minds and turn them into the people that they're slowly becoming. And I think that is also the ultimate act of creativity. And I think there's such a beautiful, beautiful unspoken thing in that. So yes, motherhood takes time away from my art. Motherhood takes mental load away from my art, but motherhood has ultimately made me the artist who I am today. I am so much better for it because of it. And I think that it's okay to hold both things true at the same time. There are positives and negatives for both things, but in my experience, I really have found so much growth in becoming a parent. I mean, who's to say I wouldn't have found that growth without it? I just don't think that I would have, because I've really taken a different path with having the time to do so. There's a train going by. I don't know if you can hear it. I've really taken a different path because I've had to. And I've had chronic pain flare-ups, which have also forced me to slow down at times and really reflect on what I want, what I need. And at the same time, I am definitely not romanticizing the cost of what it takes, because parenting is one hard slog. It is the hardest job I have ever had. I think it's the hardest job anyone will ever have. And there is inherent loss in taking on a role that large. But for me, I think that it's been an inherent amount of gain at the same time too. If this is something that resonates with you, please let me know. We can chat about it further. I really love that you've been here today, and I appreciate that if you've watched to this far that you're here with me. I would love it if you could share this with someone you know. I appreciate you, and I am sending you so much love.